Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man and it's time to make some soap. So being early January and knowing we make our soaps for a future event since it has to process and cure, I'm going to make a Valentine's Day themed soap. I'm going to call it Chocolate and Lavender. So what I'm going to do is use my slab mold, and on the bottom I'm going to have a layer of brown, and I'm actually going to use just a generic brand of cocoa powder, which I've used many times. As a matter of fact, that's all I used to use to make brown soap. And when it gels, it makes a really brown soap. And I'm actually going to fragrance that with brambleberries chocolate ganache. This smells fantastic. Oh, just gotta sniff that again. Oh, it smells so good. And this, obviously, needless to say, will turn a very dark brown, but the chocolate powder, the cocoa powder, will help it happen. So once I get that set up, then I'm going to leave a flat layer and put a layer of shimmer gold to get a gold dust line on it. Then I'm going to fill up the rest of the soap mold with white and purple vibrance. I'm going to do an in the pot swirl. Not purple vibrance, iris purple. This is a lighter colored purple. And I'm going to fragrance this with brambleberries, lavender, 4042 essential oil. This also smells fantastic if you like lavender. I know not everybody does, but I think lavender has a wonderful smell. And I think it'll go really nice with the Valentine's Day theme. And I rarely do soap piping on the top when I do the slab mold, but I am going to this time. And I will bring you to that later. I've got my 3 piping bags set up and ready to go. I made extra soap to account for that, so let's get started. I am soaping at about 83 degrees Fahrenheit. I do have a little more light water, a little more oil than usual. And here we go, getting a very light basic emulsification. And we have achieved that. So this first is for my soap frosting, which I will pour off and set aside out of the way. So let's put that back there so nothing happens to it. And let's start with our chocolate base. Once again, if you missed the beginning, this is actual cocoa powder, just generic brand cocoa powder. And while it doesn't look very dark now, after it gels and gets exposed to the air, it will darken, and the fragrance oil will really darken it. chocolate ganache fragrance in there, which just smells out of this world. That actually lightened it a little bit, but it will darken it with that question. Alright, I have sticking to that a lot. Let's get this poured while it's nice and pourable, and I can get a nice smooth top. And that's way too thin to work with because the fragrance oil behaves well, so I'll be back. Okay, so we have our beautifully smooth chocolate layer on here that's maybe just a little bit jiggly, but I think by the time I get this sprinkled on and get the next layer mixed up, it will definitely be ready to support. So let's get our gold on here. Not much exciting happens here, so let's speed this up just a little bit. So now I'm pouring off some batter to make the accent color using the iris purple. Now it's time to make the white base. My titanium dioxide is mixed in oil. And I'm adding a lot of it because I want a really white base in this. Next, it's time to add in our Lavender 4042 essential oil and stir it in. It smells wonderful. Because this essential oil behaves very well and I like a semi-thick in the pot swirl, I'm giving it a really heavy stick blend, especially the white. Next, I'm pouring the purple into the white base from a high angle so it drops and falls all the way to the bottom. And I give it a stir around the center, around the edge, down the center. And now that brings us to the pour. And I'm just doing this really to smooth it out more than anything. I'll let that set up while I get the soap frosting ready, so I will be back. cut our soap, and I'm overall pretty pleased with it. Got a nice top on it, and you can see some nice lines in the swirl, and smells fantastic. The lavender up here is great, the chocolate down here is great. It's slick and shiny, which means we got a nice hot gel, and it popped out of the mold easily, so let's cut into it. Readjust you because the camera is about to fall over. My tripod is falling apart on me. And here we go. Very, very nice. Now you can see the inner of the chocolate is a lot lighter. That's because cocoa powder darkens as it's exposed to the air, and the fragrance oil is going to really darken, especially as it's exposed to the air. So the brown is going to get a whole lot darker. So let's cut this and see what we have. Very nice swirls. And once again, imagine this really, really dark brown, because that's what it's going to be probably within an hour. As a matter of fact, I will probably wait and take the picture after it has set. And the second wall will look the same, so I'll cut it off camera. But this is pretty much what I was expecting. I had a lot more piping than I wanted. I actually wanted more soap down here and piping higher up on top. I didn't get that. I wasn't sure because I don't pipe in this mold very often, and I underestimated. But because I had a lot of piping left over, I have a lot of embeds for hot process, which I need right now. So it actually worked out well. So I am really happy with this. There's the log I'll cut off camera. And I'll let these sit for a while before I take the picture and see how that bottom darkens up over the next hour or so. But this is what I have this week. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye.